My name is Will Douglas, and I have been fascinated by cameras ever since I was 14 when I originally picked up a DSLR, and their ability to be able to capture a moment in time and just freeze it there forever for everyone to appreciate and remember. Because if you look at a photo, I know for me it's basically a gateway. It just takes me back to that whole situation and just all the emotions and everything that was going on with that. And developing my skills over time, I've recently become comfortable enough with my skill set to be able to take on weddings, which are huge events in people's lives, and a lot of people end up trusting those sort of events to unprofessionals, and I consider myself a professional because I've been doing this for so long, and I've done multiple weddings now, and I've assisted numerous professional photographers in North Louisiana and been published in magazines and newspapers throughout Louisiana. And the three main things that I'm going to be going over today are camera equipment, a little bit of controlled lighting, and some key tips to organizing groups of people in a wedding situation. And so let's start with the gear. I personally use a Canon 5D Mark II, which is filming this right now, mainly because of its large sensor and able to perform in low light situations, which is a huge necessity in most wedding scenarios because of the mood and all of the lighting that goes into that. And it's just a professional grade camera. It's built to a higher standard than most point and shoots, and having the proper gear will affect everything to where you'll just get higher quality images basically. You can't, and you could take photos with an iPhone, but that just wouldn't work out at all. Ken Rockwell actually said that owning a Nikon doesn't make you a photographer, it makes you a Nikon owner. So you can have all this gear and not know how to use it, and you will not be efficient at all. And my favorite lens is this here, my 50mm f1.4, simply because it's compact. It's a fixed focal length, so I have to move in order to zoom, but it's extremely quiet, it lets in a lot of light, and it performs really well. And it's pretty much everything that you need. And now let's look at the lighting. So this is just a basic external flash. It'll pop whenever I tell it to, basically. And what we do in order to, since most nowadays lights are usually tungsten, which give off a gross yellowish hue, which doesn't please the eye at all, because if your camera is balanced to that and you have this flash going off, it'll all just look messed up. So we use these plastic gels over the flash, which when it goes off, it'll color balance to that, and so you can correct for just this color, and everything will be evenly lit as well as evenly color balanced. So that saves a lot of time in post-processing. You can just buzz through images when you're editing. And so Mark Rebound once said, "Taking pictures is savoring life intensely every 100th of a second, and I would prefer every 100th of my second to look not like this right here. This color is not pleasing to anyone's eye, especially if you're looking at someone's face." And so basically my camera is, I believe that it's analogous to a surgeon and his scalpel. Everything that I do is extremely technical, even though it might not look like it, but every move that I make is going to impact someone's memories in their future when they're going back and looking through their wedding photo albums. Alright, and so gear's only half the battle with this. Organizing people is like herding angry cattle, especially in a wedding situation. Brides can be turned into monsters, and that is not something that you would like to deal with at all. But the key thing is to stay calm and level-headed, and as soon as you show up to the event, you want to talk to the wedding coordinator as well as the bride and the groom to get a layout of who's who and who they want photos with, so that immediately you can say, "Hey, cousin Richie, get down here, let's go." Everyone will be in tune and know what's going on. So, as you've seen today, the three aspects that you have to have are good camera equipment, controlled lighting, as well as well color balanced lighting, and you have to have some organizational skills. If you don't have these, you can do a wedding, but it's not it's not going to turn out well. And I'm sure you've all seen the weddings on Facebook where you look through them and you're like, wow, what are you doing? But, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, not everyone's a professional. And so, like I said, lighting, equipment, and organization. If you don't do that, then you might as well just go home and get a Polaroid.